Amen. God, we thank you now for this time that you've allowed us to gather in this sacred space called sanctuary. Arrest our understanding, so much so, God, that our lives will be changed forever by the transformative word. We pray now, God, that even right now you would make us witnessing warriors and testifying saints to your goodness and your grace. And God, stir up a level of energy on the inside of us that perhaps we did not have when we first entered into this building. And our prayer is always, God, that you would settle us and cause us to see ourselves, that when we leave this service, we will leave inspired, equipped, revived, refreshed, and even restored to the end thereof, God, that the church is edified, but most of all, your name is glorified. So we say thank you, and we sign, we seal, and we deliver this prayer in the only name that matters, Jesus the Christ. Every heart, every believer said amen. 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 Daniel chapter 3. Daniel chapter 3. Amen. Daniel chapter 3. Daniel chapter 3. Daniel chapter 3. Daniel chapter 3. We'll read two verses, but we'll deal with a great deal of this text throughout chapter 3 this morning, so I would that you would keep your Bibles open. Is that all right? Amen. Daniel chapter 3, let's look at verse 17 and 18. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, reading from the English Standard Version, the God we serve is able to save us from it. He will rescue us from your hand, O King. But even if he does not, we want you to know, O King, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up. Let me read that again. Some of y'all a little bit too quiet. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able. Look at your neighbor and say, he's able to save us from it. He will rescue us from your hand, O King. Look at verse 18. But, can I Dawsonize it for you real quick? But if he choose not to, it's his prerogative. Even if he does not, we want you to know, O King, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up. Look at a neighbor if you don't mind. Look at him in the eye. Let him know that you have gargled and brushed your teeth this morning. Man, say neighbor. Oh neighbor, it's great to see you. This morning, sermon subject, faith in the furnace. Come on, put your hands together. Faith in the furnace. Faith in the furnace. I suspect that even at the topic of this particular pericope of text, all of us who have lived just a little while on this side, who have some level of understanding as it relates to what God has called us to do, the job that God has assigned to our hands, we are cognizant and even cognitive that God is calling all of us to operate with a level of faith. Faith, brothers and sisters, is not this abstract thing, but rather it's more concrete in the sense that you have to have faith in something. Come on, help me in here. And that faith ought to be in God. The reality is that when folk have hung up on you, when you feel as though you're the only one on this island all by yourself, you have to have faith in the reality that God, who has never left you and who has never forsaken you, is the same constant God, even when you're on the particular islands of your life and when you're on the mountaintops of your life. It is those times, brothers and sisters, and those struggles and those issues that tend to come into our lives that really challenge the very fibers of our faith. It's those times that our faith needs to be fortified or stronger more now than ever. You don't have to go too far, brothers and sisters. You can turn on the television, CNN, MSNBC, come on, help me here, Fox News, to realize that we are living in times that are what we call perilous times. And if my grandmother was here, she would say time is filled, come on, help me in here, with swift transition. And that same grandmother, she would say, baby, I'm just a pilgrim traveling through this barren land. And I don't know what you came to do, brothers and sisters, but I think that you need to look at yourself in the mirror sometime, and you ought to be so disgusted as to what you see, perhaps because of the things that you used to do, the things that you used to say, but you don't get so disgusted that you fail to lift up your hands and tell God, thank you, because I'm not what I used to be, but I think, come on, help me here. I used to be a whole lot of stuff, but don't you know that sometimes, you know what, you can remember in the back of your mind when this time, a few years ago, you wouldn't find yourself in church. Come on, you ain't got to say amen. Just look at amen and I'll understand. And brothers and sisters, the reality of it is that God kept you then and he can keep you right now. And so this idea of this fortified faith, this strengthening of my faith hinges itself, it's supported, it's undergirded, if you will, with the reality that none of us have a reason to hold our head down because God has given us too many reasons to pick up our head. Come on, help me here. I know it looks bad. I know it looks dreary. I know, come on, help me here. Sometimes you feel like a wayward child because it seems as though God has packed his bags and gone. When in reality, you have packed your bags and you moved away from God. Is there anybody in the building who can testify that you are the one who moved from the ark of safety? But that's when God uses situations and circumstances, here it is, to bring you back in line. And that's why you in here today. You can look at me, I can look at you, you can smile, I can smile at you back, you can lift up your hands, I can lift up my hands back, because the reality of it is that last night, here it is, was not my last night. And I wish I had 10 or 20 people in the building who can testify that last night should have been your last night, but God woke you up. Last night should have been your last night, but God touched you with the fingertip of love, and now you can come in his place and say, I just want to say thank you, Lord, because my name was on the wake-up list. My name was on the wake-up list. Just a little bit of volume, Dick. I ain't got that much voice. Just a little bit more. Here it is. Faith in the furnace. Faith in the furnace. Have situations ever been hot in your life? Situations ever been so hot, brothers and sisters, that you felt as though it could not have gotten hotter in your life? Has situations ever gotten so bad that you really felt as though God has literally abandoned you? Have you ever felt, brothers and sisters, that the situation could not have gotten any hotter in your life? So much so that if you were faced with another trial, another tribulation, if they said one more thing, you was going to act a fool up in here. You ain't got to say amen. Just look at amen and I'll understand. And for some of us, it don't take much for us to say something that's non-Christian. But for those of us, look at your neighbor and say, we ain't always on the same wavelength. Come on, help me in here, huh? Some days I feel like it, some days I don't. Can I talk to any transparent folk in the building who can testify that some days you want to, some days you won't, and some days you just don't? But God continues to bless me in spite of me. And you know, that's a good shout right there. Can I park here parenthetically and let you know that that's a good shout right there? For, I don't know who I'm talking to, but perhaps I'm talking to somebody in here. You came in church, but you didn't feel churchy when you came. Okay, rewind, play. Let me talk to somebody on the back row. Rewind, play. You came in church, but you didn't feel churchy when you came. But when you heard the choir sing, when you heard, come on, help me here. When you heard Zion's songs being raised, something about your spirit, God lifts your countenance. He allows you to elevate your head, and tears started flowing from your face because God gave you a sneak preview of what could be. Anybody got a shout over what could be? Come on, help me in here. Anybody got a what could be spirit? I praise God, not for what I have right now, but for what I shall get. Lord have mercy. Here it is. Because if he don't do anything else for me, he's already done enough. So I come to church with a level of expectancy and anticipation. Faith in the furnace. Well, to understand this text in context, you have to go back to Daniel chapter 2. King Nebuchadnezzar has a dream. The long and the short of this dream is that this brother saw himself as the King of Kings. Now, not the King of Kings, but the King of Kings. He's over the gold. He is the king. Are you in here? He sees himself as superior and everybody else as inferior. And you know how it is, brothers and sisters, when we get a little title, titles can get to our head. Look at your neighbor and say, stay humble, stay humble, stay humble. So what King Nebuchadnezzar does, King Nebuchadnezzar, if you will, he makes a statue. Are you in here? And the statue is massive, it's magnanimous. It's huge, and the text gives us, if you will, the specs, if you will, of what this statue looks like. And one scholar, one theologian says that it was a statue of himself. Here it is. Just because it may or may not be a statue of himself, but what we do know is that it's a statue, and God says, wait a minute, before you build that, understand that I am a jealous God, and you ought not put no other God, come on, help me here, no other God before me. So King Nebuchadnezzar, he builds this statue, if you will, sends out a decree, and when he sends out a decree, all of the religious elites come from far and wide. I'll just give you a little context. They come from far and wide, if you will, and when they all gather, I mean, the scenery is beautiful, in so much, brothers and sisters, can you just picture thousands of religious elites, you know, folk who look churchy, but they ain't got no church in them. They dressed up in their suits, they dressed up in their white. Come on, help me here. The choir is singing, and Nebuchadnezzar, every time you hear the choir sing this song, I need somebody to worship this statue. Every time you hear this said, somebody need to worship this statue. Every time you see this done, somebody, come on, help me here, need to worship this statue. But you had three brothers who were friends with Daniel. Look at your neighbor and say, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These three friends said, no, I ain't doing it. Oh man, y'all don't know when to say amen.